Today I'm going to be eating the cheapest Christmas dinner in the UK, and it's from a place that we all know and love, IKEA. In fact, I'm going to see how cheap I can get the entire meal. So I'm going to try the Christmas dinner, get a dessert and a drink. Can I get it all for a tenner or maybe less? Let's go find out. Okay, so here we are, IKEA main entrance. Let's head inside. I like a nice revolving door, but it does take a while. They don't seem to have many Christmas decorations. I would have thought there'd be more, but it's just like normal. Okay, and I've reached the restaurant. It's looking pretty busy, but let's head up and get ordering. First things first, I think we need to get the Daim cake. I think if you come to IKEA you have to get that. But how do you get this open? Right. Here we go, Daim cake. Right, next up, IKEA Christmas dinner. Hiya, can I have the meatball festive dinner, please? Right, so I have my Christmas dinner. Let me give a closer look at what I got. So this is it. Have a look at that. So that is the IKEA Christmas dinner. Quite a lot of gravy on that, but it looks pretty decent, and it has meatballs this time. So I think I've had it in previous years and it's come with turkey, but this year it's meatballs. But you do get your other veg that you would normally get in your Christmas dinner. But that is it. I also got a Daim cake and a cup of tea. But you know what, I'm looking forward to digging into this, so let's do it. Okay, so first up, let's try out the tea. I think I might leave the tea bag in for this one. It's not bad, it's PG tips. Okay, let's start off with the meal. You know what, I don't think I've actually gone through exactly what you get, so let me give you a closer look first. So here it is. As I mentioned before, you get meatballs in this Christmas dinner. In the previous years I think it's been turkey, but I think now they've switched to meatballs. So you also get some sprouts, some red cabbage, roast potatoes, parsnips, and I think that's a cranberry sauce. They did offer me gravy and I said yes, and they absolutely covered it. But there it is. Okay, let's dig in. Okay, so first up I think I'm gonna have to go in for some of the sprouts. So let me give you a closer look at these sprouts. So there you have it. IKEA Christmas dinner sprouts covered in gravy. They are a bit small, but they feel soft. Let's go for a taste. Okay, so if you have a look inside there, you bite into it, it is soft. You do get the Brussels sprout flavour, a little bit bitter. The gravy gives a nice meaty sort of flavour to it, and it's got quite a nice, maybe a soft crunch. Let's move on next to the roast potatoes. So I think these are one of the main items of a Christmas dinner, and these need to be good. And you know what? They've got some good colour to them. Have a look at that. Really nicely brown and roasted. Check that out. Decent size. I think you get 4 in a portion, 4 big pieces of roast potatoes. Let's go for a bite of this. Okay, so you bite into that. It is slightly crispy on the outside. You do get a bit of a slight crisp and crunch. You get a nice sort of roasted, burnt, semi-burnt flavour from the outside, but it's not burnt. It's kind of a nice charring flavour. The inside is soft, really soft actually, kind of like a bit of a mash inside. It's nice and crisp on the outside, Some good baked flavour and soft and fluffy in the middle. You know what, these? Pretty good. You know what though, I think we need to cover it in some gravy and get that IKEA meatball gravy on these roast potatoes. You know what, they did have turkey before, but I think switching it to the meatballs and having the meatball gravy might be a genius move. So check that out, roast potatoes with the IKEA meatball gravy. Have a look at that. Right, let's try it. Okay, so I've had a quick change of table because I was on a higher one and it was slightly uncomfortable there sitting that high up, so I've come to a smaller table. But as I was saying, the roast potatoes with the meatball gravy I think is a genius move, because it adds that nice bit of meaty sort of meatball goodness to the roast potatoes, and it combines well with the baked flavour. Okay, so next up, let's try the red cabbage. You know what, I think I've kind of been scarred a little bit by the red cabbage at John Lewis, where it was really sour, really tart and really strong. But this one, it kind of, I think it looks a bit mushier. Kind of looks like a bit of mushed cabbage because it's really, really soft. Right, let's go in for it. Okay, so the red cabbage is fruity, it's tangy, not too sour, but really sweet. And you know what? I think better than the John Lewis one in my opinion. So pretty good. So I kind of want to gravy it up because I think the gravy is really going to make the difference here. So let's add some of that meaty meatball IKEA gravy to the red cabbage. It's kind of almost like a puree, but with bits in it. Right, let's try it. Okay, yep, so adding that gravy in there, it does cut through the sort of sharpness and sour and sweetness of the red cabbage. It adds that kind of salty, meaty flavour that combines well. Okay, next up, let's do the parsnips. And you know what? You do get some big ones here. Look at the size of that parsnip. You get 3 in a portion, and that one is massive. Again, some good brown colour on it. It does feel soft, a little bit springy. Let's go in for a bite. You know what, it's pretty decent. So you bite into that, a little bit of a chew from the outside. The inside is soft. You do get a nice sort of, maybe a little bit of a crunch, a slight crunch, but a good fruity, sort of vegetable-y chew, a crunch, and good sweet flavour. I think though it needs gravy, and you know what? This next piece has got a lot of gravy on it. So there you have it, parsnips, sweet parsnips with meatball gravy. Here it goes. Okay, yep, so every bite needs to be taken with that gravy because it just enhances the flavours. Next up we've got, I think it's cranberry sauce or maybe that lingonberry jam that you normally get. I'm not too sure. Let me give you a closer look. So that's it. Can you see that? I don't know if that's the cranberry sauce or the lingonberry jam. Let's go for a taste and see. You know what, I can't really tell the difference. It's all just fruity and sweet. There's not too much of other flavours. Just sweet and sort of jammy. Okay, and let's move on to the main item of the meal, the IKEA meatballs. So as I mentioned before, they've switched from turkey to meatballs. I don't know which I would have preferred. Would I have preferred some turkey, or would I have preferred, or would I prefer, do I prefer meatballs? Not too sure. Let's try these and see. So these are your classic IKEA meatballs. Meaty, nice sort of chew on the outside, soft. A good bite there to that. And you know what? It's got that classic IKEA meatball flavour. Right, let's go in next for some combo bites. So this first one, we've got IKEA meatballs, sprouts, red cabbage, roast potato, and the gravy. Right, let's go in for a bite of this. Okay, next up I've gone with the meatball, parsnip, to add that sweetness, and that cranberry jam on top with a sprout. Right, let's go for a bite of this one. You know what, the flavours are not too strong with each of the items, but they combine well. So we've got now the ultimate bite of the meal. Everything on the plate, so the meatball, parsnip, roast potato, sprout, got the red cabbage, the cranberry jam, and the IKEA meatball gravy. Right, here it goes, ultimate bite. Okay, let me finish this up and we'll try out the Daim cake. Okay, and it's time for the Daim cake, the classic IKEA dessert, which I think, does everybody get this when they come to IKEA? I think they do. Right, let's go in for a bite of this. Let me give you a cross-sectional view. So there you have the different layers. So you get the chocolate, the sort of cake in the middle with the sort of cream in there. Okay, let's eat it. So this has got to be one of the best desserts around. So you bite into that, get the chocolate on top, a nice good crunch as well. Get the layers of the cake which are soft, doughy, a good bite in there. Get a good chew with it, and then you get the sweetness, the chocolatiness. It's delicious. Okay, let me finish up the rest of this and I'll give you a roundup of the total costs. So did I get it for a tenner or less? I'll tell you in a second. Okay, so that was the IKEA Christmas dinner. Let's go through some of the items. So the roast potatoes, you know what, I quite like those, they were good. Nice and baked on the outside, good bake flavour, good colour, good crisp. The inside was slightly soft as well, kind of like mashed potato. The parsnips, they were sweet, a good sort of vegetably crunch, maybe slightly al dente, a good sweet flavour. You had the red cabbage, again, sweet and tangy, not too overpowering, so nice. You had the sprouts, they were kind of regular, so soft, kind of a bittery sprout flavour. And then you had the cranberry jam, which was nice and fruity and sweet, really nice. And then the meatballs, your classic IKEA meatballs, again, delicious. And then the gravy on top, which I have a bit of an issue with, a bit of a controversy, which I'll go through. And then we have the Daim cake, which is another classic and fantastic. Okay, so let's go through the total cost and the controversy. So the Daim cake was £2.45, the tea £1.50, and the meatball Christmas dinner £6.95. And the total cost was £10.90, so just over £10. But I have an issue with the meatball Christmas dinner. So on all of the boards it says it's £5.95, and when I went up and ordered it, they asked if I wanted gravy, and I said yes. And the gravy cost, would you believe, £1, a whole extra pound. Which, is that a rip-off? Did I get scammed? £1 for gravy? So I'm not sure if the gravy was worth an extra pound. I mean, I could have got extra items on that Christmas dinner, like pigs in blankets, which would have been £1.70 or £1.75. Could have got Yorkshire pudding for 75p. But the gravy, what's an extra pound? I mean, did I get ripped off? Was that too much money? Comment down below what you think. For me, I kind of think it should have been included, because who's going to have a Christmas dinner without the gravy? You're definitely going to get it. So for an extra pound, like I said, when you're considering the other items, Yorkshire pudding at 75p, it's a little bit too expensive. Maybe an extra 50p would have been okay, but for a pound, I don't know. Like I said, comment down below what you think. Am I being a bit too tight? Is £1 okay to pay? I don't know. I mean, I would get a hot dog, but they might charge me extra for sauce. Let's just leave. You know what? I've come back in just to double check the price, just in case I read it wrong. Because surely an extra £1 for gravy is ridiculous. Let me double check. Okay, and I'm back at the restaurant. Let's have a look at the boards. So we've got the board there, that's fish and chips, £6.95. Let's wait for it to change. There we go, meatball festive feast, £4.99, family price, I think that's if you're a member, and then regular price, £5.95. So I was charged an extra, and you know what? I think it looks like it had gravy on it. So, yeah, did they? They must have. I think they must have charged me wrong. But if it had gravy on it, I don't think I should have been given an extra charge because the picture's got gravy. Look, there you go. It's got gravy on it. Meatball festive feast, £5.95. There you have it again. I think I've been ripped off. There you go, that's my receipt. £6.95 for the Christmas dinner, meatball Christmas dinner. Maybe I was just charged wrong at the till. But there you go, scammed at IKEA. Okay, if you like the video, click on the thumbs up icon below and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.